I am afraid of being lost. I am afraid of losing, which makes me feel lost. Part of my confessions is that very fear that I've had all my life, for as long as I can remember, has been exactly that. I've always been afraid of losing conversations or arguments because then I would feel as though I'm completely lost in my reality. Because there's two people I would never lie to: myself and the world around me. So I have full belief in my reality. Kind of like how a lot of people now just live their lives because they believe that's their reality, or it just is. Just like how I believe mine is today, right now. So I try to stay open-minded and stay away from pride. So I stay open to and more receptive to any and every possibility. Accepting every aspect of who I am in the world around me allows me to understand it more fully. I'm still afraid of being lost. I'm still afraid of losing a conversation, an argument. I'm still afraid of losing a connection with a person, no matter who they are, good or bad. I'm afraid of leaving this world too soon. I'm afraid of the inevitable possibility that even if I stayed alive, that none of my dreams that I want to come true won't become my reality. I'm afraid of being another one of those people that don't accomplish their goals to change the world, despite how much they really mean their motives into actually changing it, no matter what the world around them says. Through the sciences, through the beliefs, through the actuality of know-how and the knowledge of the understanding is that you can do anything as long as you put your mind, as long as you put your mind to it. You can do anything you put your mind to. That's true. I'm still afraid. I'm afraid of close combat. I'm afraid of going to sleep. I remember how I used to feel as I was growing up. I used to never sleep because I wanted my dreams to come true so bad. But now, after everything I've been through, it feels like the next day I might have could be just as unprogressive as today was. Of course, you can die any day, but that's not what I'm dreading upon. I'm dreading upon the non-progressiveness of dead time. And throughout my full-on experiences and the techniques I used to use, meditation and my philosophy and theory through the actual sciences of just being completely natural, there's never a dull time. You're never not progressing. And even in dead space and dead time, I was in the cipher world. I was in jail. I was homeless. I've been in homes. I've been at home with my family, and in I've been in hoods and ghettos. I've been at work, dead end jobs. I've been out there cleaning up, doing community service. I've been out there cleaning up yards and picking up trash and cans as I was homeless. I've been in plenty of situations. I've been in, you know, dragged out relationships. I've been huge in huge situations where I was a part of an aspect in which I was enduring dead time. And I understood how to handle it through first meditation, no, first philosophy, theory, then meditation, then understanding that there's no such thing as dead time. There's no such thing as a world without action. You know, it's only based off of perception, and even your perception is with action, so it can never be without action. In some type of way, there's always some type of action, but your perception can be dealt with. But your perception can always receive a state of nothingness or things being boring as dead time. When in actuality, things are always moving. Things are always acceptable or receptible to any energy flow or amplifications in that still water element, in that place of nothing. Things can climax there. It's just open space for it to be expressed in. It's a part of my element too. Well, you know, part of a lot of people's elements. First, it had to be space, and then or it could have always been action, movement. But you know, yeah, my elements, thunder, sound. Um, you know, I just every night I don't want to go to sleep. I don't want to go to sleep. Every single night I don't want to go to sleep. Every single last night, last every single last night, I do not want to go to sleep at all. I want to stay up. I want to be in an environment where I always got my hands full, doing things progressively. I always want to be that way, like nothing else. I don't want to go to sleep. I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to just keeping it real. I don't, throughout all the sciences, I don't want to do anything non-progressive. I don't want to do anything dumb. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to involve myself with things that seem like a rotating door to this generational, genocidal society, civilization they want to call modern day. I don't know, modern day civilization. Like I want innovation. I want cultivation. I want agriculture. I want actual elevation and evolution. I want revolution. I want real art. I want real science. I want real magic. I want real sorcery. I want real food. I want real women. I want real men. I want real kids running around here. I want real architecture. Skies are huge and we always like no man buildings around here all the time. I want real technology. Like I hate going to sleep. I hate going to sleep. It's like right before I go to sleep, it stings me. It stings me. It's like man, you can stay up. And then I feel, and it's not like I'm tired. It's like I have to force myself every night to go to sleep because my hands are entirely full. I don't always have the materials I need. I'm gradually progressing and I'm getting back to that point. Yes, but this is a killer. This is a real killer. Took off a whole lot of information off of Google or just the internet period. So just going back to the dirt of things and learning things from scratch, which I believe I can. I understand it well enough to do it. I'm afraid of failing, but like I said, this how I always been. This has been like my 15th comeback, and I've always succeeded. And this is my gradual incline, and I've actually reached a foundation with businesses to be able to blog, to open my mouth, because I've been able to be blessed to put all the pieces together. I can open up churches, businesses. I can even practice alchemy now because I understand now. I can heal people through food. I understand now. Like I really understand. Of course, I gotta keep doing my research. I could take this information to the moon. Like I could take this to I can take this stuff to outer space. Like that's how expansive my knowledge is right now. Like I can really put it out there into infinity and beyond. You know, so I've always had this keen instinct inside of me to respect fear because I know the type of descent in type of limbo, I know what type of mindset it puts you in to accept. I know what type of mindset it puts you in to accept, you know, being an asshole security officer, police officer, military, personnel. Just being an asshole and a juicer, with steroids, testosterone, drinking protein shakes, not giving a fuck about real health or anything like that, or actually caring about real civilians or the morale of real people. Like I've always stood tall in the aspect that I was gonna be a real man one day. I never wanted to stick my mind in the mindset of being some type of corporate floozy or some type of corporate suit. You know what I'm saying? Like I always knew that this is just a recycled idea. They're not really helping the communities that need help. And if you really want things to really flourish, because these corporations don't allow art to really express itself throughout people's individuality, or at least put their corporation on the front lines to help people express their artistic uh, candor, gander, or their artistic calibers or degrees, or you know what I'm saying? Like people like Nike, of course, they allow them to customize shoes and stuff. But you walk in their stores, everybody wearing the same stuff. You got Hot Topic or Spencer's, and you know what I'm saying? They're doing a good job, but those things are also chosen too. It's not even the bad people that actually are doing it, which is what I'm doing. But it's like full on. Why do we always why are we always dealt with like corporations or companies as much as Spencer's or Hot Topic or Nike, and we like why do we even deal with them slamming on the brake pedal after they just after they've been cruising on a full tank of distribution and headquarters getting their ideas from like minority or rural urban areas and stuff like that. And as soon as we get too happy with the art, they slam on the brakes again. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is that why can't we just full on have our agriculture back? You know, from our roots. Why can't we all have our agriculture just out in the streets? I'm talking about from architect to food to medicine to the complete culture. Why can't we have it? You know what I'm saying? They always trying to sap us and blow us in. So I always knew not to go with I always knew not to go corporate because it ain't right. You know, we give them all that they want too soon. It's gonna inspire their ideas too much, and they're gonna believe they can do too much, and everybody's gonna be out of the job. You gotta keep it concealed. You know, and I can never be some douchebag or some asshole. I can be no baller dude that's like shitting on certain people in their cars and shit like that. I couldn't do that. I couldn't be that. I'm too much of an inspirational person. I can never have kids and not tell them the truth. I plan on having millions of kids, and I can look at them and not tell them the overall truth, which is why I took this path in the first place. I wouldn't be able to tell them the truth about. I mean, I wouldn't be able to not tell them the truth about this world. Nor would I want them to live in a world like this. Like they got to come out and actually deal with all this stuff. Serious? Like, why do people even ignore their own existence while they're living here? I can't judge people, but then again, the aliens told me now I can't judge people, but they also told me that I have to hold people accountable too. They told me to hold people accountable for their own actions because they're making these choices as well. Of course, they're programmed, but they're growing and they're inside of there. I see people's actions all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like dealing with Shawty that I was messing with, and like she was trying to play me on the cool, but she really liked me. So it's another one of them things that she really trying to get what she want out of me, but she pushing away her feelings from from me to just get what she wants out of me, materialistically. You know what I'm saying? And this it's not a problem. It's a problem when you don't want to grow and you don't want to be more humble and you don't want to, either take your time or really express yourself towards people that are really genuine with you and want the best for you. You know what I'm saying? Just explain your situation. I got you. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for you. You know what I'm saying? We might not be on, but I know you feeling me, and if you do what you trying to do to me, you know, I understand the facts I understand the facts, and I'm preparing myself and repairing myself in my mental to understand that I can make with as many women as I possibly can and be cool with as many guys as I want as well. But you know, you're not accepting a lot of the information either I'm giving you or I'm trying to put you on game about. You know what I'm saying? Or even if you're already experiencing that aspect of field, it's like you still have feelings for me. Naturally, you're still going to hurt. You know what I'm saying? I'm still going to hurt too, of course, but I know the game. You know what I'm saying? I know, okay, sometimes this stuff happens. This is what's going on. This is what goes on with people like this. And, you know, it's like, you still going to hurt yourself, though. And I'm really trying to put you on. It's like, don't act like that. I like, don't act like that. Just be real. Don't hurt yourself. Don't push away your emotions for, you know, something, something you is real material just to, you know, feed away from the fact, from feed away from the fact and filter your feelings away from me because if I helped you out wholesomely, genuinely from my heart, you will feel you will feel a certain way towards me. You will feel more love towards me after I went through that prominent gesture, and you know, and maybe Shawty went through some things. That'll probably be an indication, and she's not ready for that type of love. I understand that, but I'm just trying to teach you. You know what I'm saying? That's not something you want to continue to do in life. You're gonna end up, being a snake in the set, you know, which is, what some females start doing just to get their ways, using their allure. This is another story of um, the primate and the snake. Alien versus predator. You know what I'm saying? They're using their allure, their snake eyes to lure you in to do to get what they want or eat you up. This is an old ancient story in which how they do that. It's my brain versus their sexuality. Primate, uh, yeah, primate, alien. What is that? And it's alien versus predator. You know, I'm always seeking, but she always destroying. You know what I'm saying? She's more cunning. I'm more I'm more of a manufacturer. I have weapons at my disposal too. But if I don't be careful, she can, whip that tail out and just, slash my shit in two if I don't prepare myself. It's like, this is an old ancient story that's been told over and over again. Male versus female. The battle of the sexes. You know what I'm saying? People love watching stuff like that. But it's like I could never be a horrible husband. Could never be a bad boyfriend. Like I've always had ambitions. It just now it's all fell down for me to pick it back up to now understand I could be a part of a huge community. Now and that's real. You know what I'm saying? I could be a part of a huge civilization and society if I become successful or I become a part of my ancestors and I'm reincarnated and reborn. You know what I'm saying? One day we will see the truth once again. We will reach Ethiopia, Euphoria again. We will be in that land of the prosperous and the free once again. You know, whether I see it or not, it will happen. It's natural. You know what I'm saying? And we're smart enough to do it. I'm not the only individual who think about doing it. You know what I'm saying? And even when we get out of here, we got other worlds to explore and aliens. It's all natural, universally. How we supposed to protect ourselves and always reach for the light and be genuine towards one another, out of respect for all life. You know what I'm saying? So even the aliens told me if they even get down on me in the wrong way, use everything in your power to fight back. You know what I'm saying? Do your do. And of course, they were strong telekinetically to the point that sometimes I couldn't even move, and they could move fast and have powers and all types of shit. But eventually, you know, they like having sex with human beings too. But it's just eventually we'll evolve. Our species that's in the foundations of having, being primates, arms, legs, kickers, and shit like that, will eventually evolve too. You know what I'm saying? It's inevitable. It's natural. You know what I'm saying? With them having sex with us or us having sex with them too, it just end up being a common thread over, ensuing time anyway. So, but like I never saw myself being a horrible person at all. No matter how I saw it, no matter what direction you would put it in, nothing. Like, I talk to God, I'll be like, I never do this to people. I spoke to aliens, I was like, I never do this to people. I spoke to myself, I'm like, I never be this way to people. I don't even talk about you in my brain. Sometimes you get around people's energy, and sometimes you just can't help it, but you gotta even correct yourself around them. I'm not saying like I'm like a super saiyan saint. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that I always hold myself in order because I grew up in an environment that had no order, and I understood the foundation in which when you hold yourself in order, I think it's contempt, but nah, not contempt. Like, yeah, I think contempt. Like you crucify yourself to keep yourself in order, and everything you do, it creates an energy around you, a foundation around you in which you are able to see everything. And no matter who you see, you keep that certain morale, just like how I walked to that temple with the aliens sent me to, or there's stories of people going through hell or being around demons and stuff like that, and that only the purest of souls can do it. It was the same thing with the hoods and ghettos. You know what I'm saying? Nobody touched me. Of course, I got picked on sometimes in school just because I had a good shirt on or something. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You know what I'm saying? Or they was envious of my ambitions. And they didn't want me to see my own perspective, my prospective. They never wanted me to see my own prospect, prospective of myself. You know what I'm saying? They never wanted to let me see that part of me. So they always beat me down. You know what I'm saying? It's natural. You know what I'm saying? It's a right no, but it's natural for them to try to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want you to see the light within you. You know what I'm saying? My family also called me a golden child. You know what I'm saying? So I've always been a light, in myself and to others. And I had to raise myself, I had to raise my family, and I always help people around me. I never thought littering was right. I never thought these actions in this world was right. I never thought any of this stuff was right. Everything that isn't right, I never thought was right. You know what I'm saying? So anything that I'm presenting over to you in these blogs or anything I've said to you, and I found out that was wrong, I always corrected myself. You know what I'm saying? Even females that thought I hurt their feelings, they would be out with dudes, and I would swear like what I did like hurt them. Like I would like go have sex with another girl and they would like me or something like something of that nature. But they would have already been moved on, and they would come back and be like, true shit. They would come back and they had already moved on and everything. And they were like, nigga, you ain't shit no way anyway. You ain't gotta apologize to me. Stuff like that. Or people used to look at me like shit. You know what I'm saying? I just constantly grew. Like the aliens called each other trees. They called each other like plant names, in honor of being a part of nature. You know what I'm saying? So I was like a broken tree when they found me, and they showed me another tree as I was going through the process, and once I finished it, they claimed me as like a real tree now and stuff like that. So like I'm like a tree. I'm respectful, I'm honorable, and I'm always giving. You know what I'm saying? I'm not tripping about nothing, and I'm completely through and through. What I am is what you see. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to lie to nobody. I'm not here to put out any wrong information. You know what I'm saying? Just like I said, the stuff I didn't even believe it was true. I relearned. I was retaught. It wasn't no cultism. It wasn't no nothing like that. There was no plans, no nothing, no groups, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? The other terminology that they used is not only walk your own walk, but it was bike. It was BIKE, and that was at Venice Beach, and everybody got bikes or roller skates and stuff like that. But aliens posing as homeless people, and some of them get to drive the higher rankings or the lower rankings. It just depends. But overall, they would be like it's bike, so it's BIKE is BN know everything. So it's B, the letter B is B, and the I is NIN, and K is the KNOW, and the E is everything. So it's BN know everything. That is the symbol in which they. That is the what are those things called? The abbreviations that they tell everybody to go by as you're at the beach, at the Venice Beach. I'm gonna show y'all this right here. This right here. This is the bike sign. So at the end of the movie, Men in Black, they got that person riding on the bike too. I never knew what that probably meant. I'm not sure if they actually know those type of aliens that are doing that, but those bikes are actually symbols. Before I continue on with that, you can see the two eyes right there, and then that actually looks at like a finger that's doing shh. That's like saying shh, like that, and it's a bike, but it's really a person riding a bike like that, and it's really a face with the finger saying, stuff like that. And then they have these signs up here, and then they'll be like, "This is a no biking lane." That means, um, either they'll be like, "No smoking over here." That means you can't get angry over there, or if they show you like a cigarette, they'll be like, "You should be mad about this." This is what the aliens would say to me, and look at that shit. That shit tripped me out. I thought them niggas was watching me. It's just a street light in the moon. But this no parking uh bike lane. They would have like no biking over here. That would mean you don't have to pretend around us over here, because biking meant, as it being know everything, biking meant that you had to pretend, and you had to be a really damn good actor to pretend to clean background, clean it a bit. But you had to pretend that you weren't an alien. Even if I was in and I was like a young trainee, they they couldn't even let themselves be known to me, because there was aliens that could, transparent transport inside of your body, inside of your energy, and uh, metamorphosize themselves, uh, or trick themselves to clone themselves to be you, and they'll be walking around and stuff like that. So they have to have hidden messages, and they have to be just as rough, because some of them are just as cunning as the people that were able to sense one another. You know what I'm saying? Like you couldn't even like they were like toe to toe, neck and neck with each other's power sometimes. Some of them was better than the others, of course, but some people that were still growing like me, or just a little bit higher above me, or just different dimensionalized portions of themselves were just still being repaired, or worked on, or they was just, they was working on the craft still. They had to still act out certain messages, or they have to still learn how to use their telekinesis in certain ways because of the, type of aliens they were dealing with, or stuff like that. So they have to continue to act on the low, or there would be organizations hunting them, or something like that. They still had to when I got there, there were like battles in Atlantis, like underwater. There were like battles in sewers. There were they didn't there were battles in the stars, like they were moving stars still, what I'm saying? But there were like huge battles. They were more like motherships in the stars, but nothing like real big. Like the stars were more like a plane land for everybody. Like everybody's ships were there, the past different stories were there, people traveled in stars, but there were still battles here underwater right now. Or as I was there, there were battles there, um, but they really keep it like quiet and like cool, for the most part. But when I came around, they like, I guess I could say this. I know it's just crazy to believe this, but you know, when I came around, they said my frequency woke up. You know, one of the one of these basically Leviathan. Like, my story is not just my story. I'm prophetic. I'm actually a prophetic person. Just like I said, there's a message in my family bloodline. I'm actually a prophet, and my visions are actually my walks. Like my vision is actually, my living path. So when I say King Levi, I'm talking about the Levites, the ones who are, scholars and teachers. I'm speaking of like social Leviathan, social engineering scholar, Leviathan. You know, the the spirit of one of the archangels, the protectors of the Garden of Eden, came to me in dreams. You know what I'm saying? Which is, another indication of me protecting nature. I mean, it's a lot of things, but basically, Leviathan actually comes from um, like the protector of, um, like morale and nature. So Leviathan is not only a huge watery beast or uh, social engineering scholar. It's actually he's actually he's actually a scientist down to the roots of uh, down to the roots. He's like a protector of all the sciences of the universe. He's like another Titan. Leviathan is like another Titan per se. And I'm the same. I am Leviathan. You know what I'm saying? I'm that beast in the water. So when I came around, they woke it up, and the people that were looking for answers and this and that and the other were snooping, trying to gain power for themselves. They actually heard it or stuff like that, or the aliens took control of me or hide my frequency, and like they actually like I was actually probed. Real talk, I was really probed. You know, so they like people that was like this is a long story, but I'm trying to rush through it. Like people that found me, or people that was also there speaking to me telekinetically. The young cats, they was like, don't let the aliens, talk to you or use their telekinesis too hard on you, because you got a power and you on the right track, and you don't want them to take out anything, because even though it's my power, it's my bloodline, and it's my path because I'm prophetic, what I'm saying? I'm actually a part of a prophetic walk. Um, such such an immense moment in time shouldn't be dismantled in any way. It should be it's to be allowed to flourish, especially with a walk like mine, saving a particular race or universe, unless some more experienced people like those black or different racial, because they were aliens of all ethnicities and all ancient cultures, of course, because they made me sit down on that stoop and. Just for example, I sit on the stoop every night and I learn something new telekinetically. But one of these particular nights, I sat on the stoop and down the way to the other side of the beach. All the aliens came down and they walked in front of me and they showed me my ancestors. They showed me my ancestors. They didn't show me all my ancestors, but they showed me like they showed me like my ancestors, but they didn't show me full on like my ancestors. They showed me like who like the descendants of my ancestors. They showed me them. The ones that were still living and that were still living, that were descendants, and some that have passed telekinetically. They showed me, but I wasn't necessarily allowed to see all of my ancestors. I actually was communicating with all of my ancestors through my orishas and my chakras before I met those aliens. And they tried to cut me off from speaking to my ancestors because they wanted me to learn full on from what they were teaching, and they wanted my ancestors to have more faith in me. So they closed like the whole portal to me speaking to my ancestors, and I can no longer speak to them, and my ancestors can no longer speak to me temporarily. But the aliens consoled me once again because they were like, "Okay, who led you here?" They're like, "Your ancestors." All right, then you need to calm down because I was mad. I was mad. They were like, "You need to calm down because this is what they wanted you to go through." You know what I'm saying? And we're testing them to actually see if you're the one, you know, and putting more faith in yourself, putting more faith in you. I guess is what you know, I'm ranting about, and I'm just picking back up my speed and re-understanding why, I'm wish-washing my thoughts again. You know what I'm saying? But we want you to have more faith in you, and we want to see if your ancestors really right about who they chose and stuff like that. So it was a both a learning process for me and them because as we were going through my teachings and their analytics of my whole entire being, there were people calculating every single thing about me, everything I did, everything I chewed, I moved, I said, I've done. They went all the way back into my past and they brought it up to me verbatim for verbatim. Everything, every variable that applied to my existence, and they were like, read this. Why did you do that? 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 And it came all the way back to fruition today, and everything made sense. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. I was like, wow, that's crazy. And then I thought I was like, y'all really good at like being telekinetic and having screenplays and deceiving people and making people believe more in themselves because. It was a black Amazonian woman that was in charge, right? But there was another guy, a little short, Olmekian black dude. They all look like little short Floyd Mayweather. Some of them was old, some of them not, or a little short Reese Witherspoon. Uh, the guy from Friday, they be like bang bang bang. They all look like a short version of him, or they look like little short James Brown people. Just to give you an idea of how short they looked, and or they look like little short Ocho Cinco's and stuff like that. They're like little short shadow, squint eyed Gabrielle Union, Amazonian. What is it? Mrs. Jones, Naomi Campbell. Who that other lady? Venus and Serena. They all look like them, little short versions of them, and they all, all from the Amazon, and they all short, and they all Olmekian. They all Olmekian aliens, and a lot of the older ones or elders were short, but a lot of their women was like extremely tall. You know, true to the rumor and true to the grapevine in which we all heard that the Amazonian rumor is like super tall, like super fucking tall, and extremely sexy. And we out here in San Diego, California, and right here by South America, where the Olmecs and Aztecs. So it can't be just a coincidence that I meet these niggas. And, they're aliens and they taught me the deal. You know what I'm saying? But you know, as it continues, um, it is geographically, cosmetically, astronomically. Um, it'll also tell of just just how we travel, Jamaicans, and what I'm saying, and why people look like those squint-eyed people like Venus and Serena, or the Amazonian people look like what they look like, or what I'm saying, why the Omax look like why they look like that. You know what I'm saying? Why everybody what I'm saying, not Marshawn Lynch. Well, yeah, Marshawn Lynch. Is everybody from LA? Not everybody from LA, but a lot of people from LA got like Asiatic features, or they're like super Caribbean and watery and stuff like that. And we have Asia like right across the water. You know what I'm saying? You got people like I said, for example, like Venus Serena, Naomi Kemp, like all them people. You know what I'm saying? And they all look like Asians. They all look like black Asian people. You know what I'm saying? Of course, black people in a sense would have came first, based upon harbor dating. But that, like I said, it wouldn't take away from, the black woman have the Eve gene, and as that is understandable, to even include the voyage manuscripts, the historical voyage manuscripts, and how we were able to implement voodoo around us, have magical encounters with nature and the universe, and all types of deal like that. They would still be a part of who we are. So there's no way we should be out here trying to disrespect each other at all in any type of way. We are one. We started out as one and we still are today. You know what I'm saying? That's why if one of us is off, we all off. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of how things may seem different, it's always going to be the same because we are one throughout the whole entire universe. But you know what I'm saying? You got to really peep game when it comes to uh, those Californians, them Rastas, them the Southern Americans, and how a lot of us have I'm part Japanese. You know what I'm saying? Like you have all, but like that shit. And I'm from California, but I was raised in Texas and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Of course, from from the East Coast, you're gonna have more people that's like Jamaican or African and stuff like that. But you got to see how you can just look at a map and see how we all traveled, and we go up to Asia, through India, through Africa, through the other side, all the way up to the United States of America. We just fluctuate up and down the map from there. You know what I'm saying? Just to pretty much weed out any misinformation about anything, really. Like, okay, this is why all these niggas here look like fucking Asian black people, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not really just speaking gibberish. This is what you really see with your own two eyes. But nobody ever picks this up. Nobody ever talks about this or anything like that. That actually also interprets that we're not that old. Evolutionary wise. This information's not that old. You know what I'm saying? It means we're actually able to still, evolve to morph our DNA evolutionarily. I mean, it never stops. We still have this idea that okay, we're gonna be black, Asian, and all these things together forever. No, but by nature, we're gonna continue to evolve. We forget about that small little trait that is very big all the time. But yeah, but I forgot what I left off at or why I left off. Oh, okay, about the dude. Um, they're good at like making plays for people that have more confidence in themselves because his main job's a little short. Making dude, his main job was to it also goes back to why Asian people eyes are like closed. And, a lot of people eyes are like big. It's all those are all tools to nature. You really gotta look into that. It's real dope. But you know, people like, why your stuff be like? Can you see? Like, you know why we do this? Niggas be quiet as a motherfucker. Ninjas like a bitch. You know what I'm saying? But I kind of like that push. But his main job was to fix people's lives. You know what I'm saying? They had people out there that were able to touch your orishas and your chakras and the portal, your portalized energy flow in your body and like change, switch that up too. You know what I'm saying? So I had to step back and actually look into it, and they spit it back to me like, why you call yourself King Levi? Why is it really Leviathan in the ocean? Why is Atlantis really over there? Why this and why that? And I'm like, oh shit! I'm like, nigga might really know what you thought. I'm like, okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's look at this. Let's look at that. And that's when I started. That's when I started to like rant on Facebook. I started to post like that girl from The Happening, like I was hearing like super voices. I wasn't like scratching on things, but I was hearing voices. People were talking and repeating the same thing that I was saying, and they were like in different rooms. And I had to defeat those thoughts and get them to stop talking because the aliens were speaking to them telekinetically to scare the shit out of me until I actually figured out everything they were saying. And I had to put it all out there. I told everybody whether they wanted to hear it or not, and it was another breakthrough for me as well. I learned a whole lot. Now it's solidified in my being. Now I know. I know the truth. So now it's like I'm not fearful as in like being afraid. I'm fearful in the respects that I understand the possibilities of this reality today. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like I don't want to go to sleep. I don't want to I don't want to like constantly have to spend my money to buy materials, you know, and I don't know where these distributions got this certain material, or I don't know if this is real material or not. You know what I'm saying? So I always got to stick to things like being natural. Like I'll go outside and get some dirt, or I'll stick some copper wires in the ground, or like, I wouldn't even do the copper wires in the ground thing type shit because I'm like, okay, they may have copper in Africa, but ain't shit. You ain't see no copper wires over here and stuff like that. It's just a lot. You know what I'm saying? And that's including like what it is. Like I wouldn't go to like universities because I wouldn't go to hold on. Yeah, I wouldn't go to universities because I understand what you know. You looking for the bus stop? You looking for the bus stop? Okay. No, I was just trying to help you out. Yeah, it's cool. But I wouldn't go to universities because I understand the cycle and information that they form upon people to not tell them or give them the tools to the complete truth. This is the constant rhetoric that generations have repeated over and over again, and I'm not the first, and I won't be the last until it's actually done. That's another one of my fears is not actually getting it done. It's like you have to be more cunning than this round table of machine mechanized people that are constantly putting injecting this type of curriculum upon not only myself but the people they want to stay down, and that includes being as intellectual as intellectually biased towards me to get me off of my track, even if that means killing me because I know too much. You know what I'm saying? So they have to do the same thing they did with me, as they did with Michael Jackson, Dr. Sebi, and everybody else. It's incredible that the dude cures everything, and now you look at all these avenues, and people are discrediting it, trying to discredit what he's done and what he's accomplished, and he went against your attorney general, the highest of the high, and he beats the case. Nobody backs him up. Nobody. This isn't on the news or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? It's completely shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have newscasters out the womb. If a cat is ran over in the street, or you know, kids go trick or treating, or people are too young going out to eat. But a guy that cures everything, absolutely everything, gets no type of light. Akon lights up damn Africa, and his model is being followed internationally. Popular, popularly, popular. How do you say it? It's become a trend through other moguls to put their money more towards helping others. He's he sparked a new wave. He wasn't the only person during that time, but people look up to Akon around the world. You know what I'm saying? And this comes from a convict. This comes from Dr. Sebi. Comes from a person that knew nothing about this knowledge. You know what I'm saying? He knew something of it, but he didn't know how detrimental it was until he had to go through it as well. You know what I'm saying? Blessed that he was raised in the way that he was. It's Malcolm X is another. It's being cliche, but then it's not. You know, grew up to be a great man. Went to Jamaica, found out everybody was unified, and like, damn, I fucked up. I didn't even know it was like that out here. I didn't know the truth. Now my eyes open. They were like, oh hell no. Now they teaching kids in school who was better, Malcolm X or Martin Luther King. Okay, Malcolm X used violence, and no, he was protecting himself. You know what I'm saying? Like Michael Jackson, the king of all time. Like wow, you know what I'm saying? Like wow, it's like they won't even play James Brown on TV, and he's the king of funk. You know what I'm saying? They want to pop up all these names. They like you won't even put James Brown up there, but every movie you see is every today. If the kids be like, who like they don't even ask, they just love the music, and they won't even put James Brown on TV again because they don't want people to actually see such an immaculate black person like that. They don't want people to re relive the moment of Michael Jackson. God forbid that they put Tupac on and the whole hood blows up. You know what I'm saying? And they actually give Tupac his recognition. You know what I'm saying? Like it's incredible. It's it's like me predicting the future, actually being prophetic on two legs right now, being a part of Atlantis, meeting aliens, speaking the truth on YouTube, and my stuff never get out. And even if it do, my shit is probably gonna be deleted and kept in the Area 51 archives for the rest of eternity, as long as they possibly can. You know what I'm saying? And my prediction is that whether they do it or not, like I said, not only through my own understanding, but through what I was taught, what I've seen, what I've understood, and what my 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 dimensional uh, breakdown, my dimensional visionary prophetic breakdown was going through as my energy was tripping through a time warp, as my energy was tripping through dimensions, like I was going through dimensions at one time, and I was actually seeing things telekinetically through my energy, through my words, through my understanding. Like I was seeing things, I was speaking things, all types of deals. Like these things, this type of society has already existed once before. You know what I'm saying? It actually has. People have tried this before against nature and they have failed. You got to realize, I never had this in my perception as uh, before the aliens actually put me onto this. I understood this in a way, but not as how they told me and put me down to it. They're like, do you not realize how old the world actually is, nigga? You know what I'm saying? Bump how old you date back to. Do you not know how old this planet is? You not know how old the universe is? Man, this society we live in today ain't nothing but 2,000 years old. Any information that we have don't predate back further than damn shit, other than maps or something. Like, shit don't predate back nowhere near 100,000 years. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. You know what I'm saying? They probably catch some fossils from like, what, 10,000 BC or some shit, but these niggas ain't hitting like million dollar carbon dated information unless it's like an old ass fossil. And if they finding anything humanoid, they sure ain't telling us. You know what I'm saying? Humanoid or alien, they sure ain't telling niggas or anybody. You know what I'm saying? So, in the world ain't even 10 million years old. This shit's super old. You know what I'm saying? And all this shit is recycled. You die and it's regrown. Whether this shit is recalibrated and put back into nature and rebuilt, upon itself, and it's turned to a new element. Over time, it just keeps structuring itself and keeps being reborn and turned into another element and experienced in a different way until it reaches a height and it creates another star and another offspring. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? A star or another element. You know, there's something special at every end of every life, of every lifespan. You know what I'm saying? Aliens taught me how to embrace death. Not only my own but others. It's a celebration. You know what I'm saying? We all go through it. Everyone goes through it. But the point is that this planet. That's a huge point, and I can get it on that. But just to keep it on track, this planet is, man, incredibly old. Who are we to say just because we running around here on cars and they got a bunch of laws and niggas going to war and people are afraid of getting shot up and took them to jail, that what I'm saying, and everybody like right now ready to revolt as soon as these niggas try to call what's the name, a state of emergency. We already don't like the state. We already don't like the government. We love the churches. We really want to be spiritual. We really want to be free. Niggas ain't really crazy. They may be insane, but their natural neutrality still exists. You know, that's what I'm banking on. And it's not even me banking on it, it's me being happy about the spirit of the universe and the nature. I know the light within, and I've always been this way since I was a child. Always been this way, and I've always known the true nature of people. You know what I'm saying? I always knew what a real man was. I always knew what a real woman was. You know what I'm saying? But I always knew everybody was different regardless. But I knew your natural nature was good. You know what I'm saying? You are innocent. You know what I'm saying? You are all innocent. I'll let y'all out of jail today. Because it's wrong what they trying to do to y'all, nigga. Trying to get paid. Feel me? You know what I'm saying? For real. So I just know that not only that I just know, like, it's happened before, too many times before. People, beings, things, all types of deals have tried the same tactic, trying to control and be gods over others, and they have failed immensely. Have had horrible massacring deaths. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that will stand on other planets, on other planets, ecosystem universes, is things that are, it's even in the Bible, but that's a cop out too, because that shit ain't even that old. So how would you follow that? You know what I'm saying? But not even trying to squash on other people's beef about religion. But I dismantle that. But um, nothing nothing will stand if it doesn't stand under, i.e., God, via the universe. Nothing will stand if it's not of nature. You know what I'm saying? If it's not biometrically inclined, e- e- equating to nature, if it isn't like some ecologically architecture, food, or action that abides by with nature, of course you do these things naturally because you're an insect, you're an animal, you're a primate, just like everything else is an organism, cell, or energy. You do this naturally, but when you build outside of it, you try to be better than it, you fucking up. You know what I'm saying? Which is what we're dealing with right now. And this stuff will not stand. Natural disasters is out. You know what I'm saying? You know, people people being dysfunctional outside of their nature allows people to manipulate them and put them in places in their own minds. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't understand who they really are. They don't know who they really are. So now you can take them out of other places in which they've confined themselves in their own minds through your teachings to wherever you want them to go because that's what you taught them and they accepted it. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. Just to keep it, Teo, just to keep it Teo, wax on and wax off. It's the same thing with like making deals with the devil, or what I'm saying, like accepting demons, or what I'm saying, like they're like, would you accept this if you get this? I'm like, yeah, I believe in your bullshit. You just give me a job type. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that you're dealing with demons, warlocks, or witchcraft or anything like that, but the psychological basis applies the same thing scientifically. You know what I'm saying? You're still going to be in descent if you actually believe or actually have to actually deal in a certain way. You can be completely honest and you still know the whole game and just combat it by having a sense of honor with you, and you can still go to toe to toe with, okay, I'm gonna work, but I'm gonna have honor and pride while I work, and it's just out of respect because this is a service, this type of deal. No matter what you're doing, but never give yourself soul away and not know what 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 the story mark may hold for what you doing in it. You know what I'm saying? Never do that because then you're receptive to whatever that dimension has for you. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't give a fuck why you there. You know what I'm saying? It's horrible. That's a horrible realm to be in. You know what I'm saying? Horrible. That's why kids to ask questions. You know what I'm saying? That's why kids shouldn't be shouldn't shouldn't be indoctrinated to be afraid of other adults. You know what I'm saying? As we supposed to be in communities, living together. Every single time you think of a community center, you think of kids. You know what I'm saying? The kids are supposed to be everywhere anyways. So why would it's the safe haven? It's the safe haven. Why? Because the society around them isn't. You know what I'm saying? It's a community center. Why? Because the center isn't outside. As it's supposed to be with everybody. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's supposed to be good, but this is another aspect of understanding in which we ignore all the time. You got people that pass you by or driving cars next to you, look at your shit like it ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? What's going on in your life though that's making you act that way towards my shit? What are you gaining from doing that? It has to be something because your life ain't the shit, apparently. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm chilling with my shit. I don't give a fuck. I don't even know what the shit look like from the inside, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Apparently you do. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me some. Because I don't give a fuck. I'm listening to my shit. I know what I'm in, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I know my shit rolling. Fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, sorry, I had a flashback. You know what I'm saying? Like, real crazy shit. Like, man. That's why it's so important to instill honor inside of our children so they can mature in that way, so they can be molded in that way. There's um, just like I spoke upon, young and old having sex with each other and stuff like that. I didn't, I do mean it full on. I don't want to get it twisted, but I do understand that it's not always about physical sexual encounters. it is about sex is also meaning and creativity as well. Nympho fabrications, metaphysics, the way the universe was made, the universal science, and people can believe they don't understand the rhetoric, but it's all there. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what I'm talking about. If you want to say this type of deals and they want to ignore it because they don't want to deal with the repercussions behind it, in which these people that are holding us back created for us to be afraid of, so we don't discuss it. You know what I'm saying? Just to be real, 100 with you. You know what I'm saying? Entirely, I understand that overall, young and old relationships are all supposed to be experienced through, all supposed to be experienced because of the experience between one another. What they gain both from one another, whether it's through intimate sexual relationships or it's through the transformations of information, no matter how you put it. You know what I'm saying? Of course, they're going to get smarter through having sexual encounters. They're going to get more experience from experienced people, but also they're going to get a whole lot of gain from people that's been here that know the deal. You know, um, no matter what ages it is, and they don't always have to be young and old relationships. I'll just use that as an example. But of all ages, of uh, all creeds of people, all different types of people that should communicate with each other at all times. We should all be a community in the center. You know what I'm saying? Another fashion in which the alien community shared at Venice Beach. You know, they called they use they use that fashion, the center, um, as the center of as a metaphor for being in the center of the light of the community. You know what I'm saying? As you stood in that center of the light of the community, we would shine the light upon you in the midst of the community of all. Because, you know, you're here because you love us and we love you too. And this is really how it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Of course, it wasn't entirely how it was. And, they couldn't all show themselves, but they were just letting me know from a huge scale that, yo, you know what I'm saying? We appreciate you. We appreciate what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Whether they good or bad or confused or being too natural, no matter how it is, I understood what they were saying right then and there. You know what I'm saying? That's the complications when actually speaking to these aliens. Sometimes they're like too rough, but then again, they was like they were like crystal clear in a metaphorical type of way. You know what I'm saying? In that way, they're like they spoke telekinetically, but they spoke through emotions, all types of deal. But they also was like crystal clear about what they was saying metaphorically, and I understood it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be a genius. You know what I'm saying? When people say, apples don't fall too far from the tree. Everybody know what you're talking about, but the alien shines light on you, and they're projecting emotions of like love and care and appreciation, to you, and they show you the world telekinetically. You motherfuckers act like you don't know what the fuck they say, but if it happened to you, you be like, I don't know what that means, motherfucker. Like, no, nigga, that means thank you. Shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? All that weird shit. That's that weird. Your ass died. You gonna tell God, you didn't know what we were saying? Okay, that's why your ass here today. Okay, you ain't going to hell. You don't need to go to hell. You need to stay in heaven for a minute and watch what's going on, motherfucker. Just take a seat, cause that's all you ever gonna do. We'll send you back when you get it. Stop acting stupid. You can be a fucking angel or send your ass back. How about that, nigga? Fuck, nigga. Watch the show, nigga. How much time you got? Forever? Man, like, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, like it was true grit though. But that's my point. It's like young girls should be able to walk up to anybody and salute them. You got young girls walking past construction sites getting catcalls They get harassed here and there and whatnot and stuff like that. Just speaking real upon these aspects and understandings, because not only will those people that are doing that those catcalls understand, you know, how much they need to be, teaching them these children about sex or how they should approach them at a young age about sex that at that point of their time as they're developing as well, and how fragile they may be because of the society that doesn't teach them about, that doesn't give them, information on sexual education. But so, with that, and they teach them to be, more afraid of older people and about, sex unless it's of their age and stuff like that. So it's like you're climbing on a negative with that. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't know, they always known it to be, troublemaking or something like that. So that also makes you sexually depressed, or you know, uh, yeah, it makes you more sexually depressed towards them. That's where, rapes come in, sex trafficking, young adults, all types of deals, all types of deals, because you don't know what you can do, you don't know why you feel that way, and you're not putting them on game, and you don't feel more comfortable, coming to them in a more appropriate way, educating them, and possibly making love to these children. However you may say it. Vice versa, with that child that wants to be more mature, that wants to have children one day, that understand this feeling they have when they're developing. This is just completely biological. This is all natural. This is just completely fact. You know what I'm saying? And they see it all the time. They deal with it. They see you in your cars. They see celebrities on TV. They're like, oh my God, this is my favorite person in the world. Like, why are you looking at him? Like, they looking at them sexually. They see the money you making. You know what I'm saying? Another reason why it's socially engineered for, certain ethnicities not to get cash, because they don't want to see you as a provider or a sexual partner. At the end of the day, that's what it really equates to. This is the person you're going to grow up and have sex and children with. You know what I'm saying? You think people ain't calculating that? Come on now, they are. You know what I'm saying? Young children, so they walk past construction sites, they see corporate people with suits on, and all these girls wearing these high heels with the ass out, and with these dresses and sucking up and doing what they had to do. And, you know what I'm saying? It was a misogynistic society, and it's getting a whole lot better. But these are all facts in which we have to eliminate, because these young children, they should know about, sex. They should know about education. They should know about the elements of the universe. They should know about the neutral reality, the neutral reality of the universe, the naturality of the universe. They should know everything about nature, period. You know what I'm saying? To the head, to the rooter, to the tutor. You know what I'm saying? Through and through. You know, and with that, people will be more mature. So you eliminate all rapes. You eliminate all sex trafficking. You can even teach these children and these people to protect themselves, and you have a whole lot more communications. Nigga, motherfucking missing. Hold on, I know exactly where to go, because I know, dude. I know what the word is, and we all been in unison in which we've been speaking. We've been speaking to all these kids. We've been speaking to all our elders. We've been speaking to all our word classes. We've been talking to our teens. We all communicating as one. Right now, we're divided. We're not talking to each other because we split up on so many dimensions, and we feel so much anxiety towards each other. We're afraid to actually step into it and be like, bam, let's just start a regular conversation. You know what I'm saying? That'll break the mold right there. But right now, they have us all divided. They teach our kids in school. They teach our kids. Our kids watch TV. They in social media. You know what I'm saying? Every single time they see you, they scared that they analyzing you, seeing what you got on, just so they can grow up, and vice versa, so we can keep up and we can see, who your mama is, or what you gonna grow up to look like, or no matter how it is. You know what I'm saying? But we also feel an incline to teach you and put you on game. Okay, we feel a certain way, we can't do that, and that's really what's going on. And then kids feel a certain way when they, all the babies. We always use the baby as a leverage tool too. It's like, man, babies ain't racist. You know what I'm saying? they'll point like your parents would be racist or something like that, and your baby, like your white baby, will like laugh at you, laugh at a black person because they love you. You know what I'm saying? Or kids who look up at you because they want to speak and they want to learn from you and they want to talk to you and they want to play and they motivate you to play and stuff like that. But as you grow older or you get out in public, we all standoffish. We're not communicating, and kids start interacting with one another, but they learning from you. They learning to be afraid of one another. They learning not to ask certain questions. They know not to fuck with certain people. You know what I'm saying? Very cognitive, very learned behavior. You know, same thing they did to slaves. Same thing you're doing to you, psychologically. Tell me I ain't right. Tell me I'm wrong. I know what I'm talking about. Just being real. You know what I'm saying? The element of everything. Start talking to each other. It's a wrap. All we gotta do is talk. Conversation rule the nation. Poetic justice. You know what I'm saying? But I know I'm in this video. Keep it short. I'm just gonna repost that. I'm glad I rethought about that information because I was really stuck. It was really it was really hard for me right then because I climbed like I climbed. I climbed, like I said, my confidence went up because I didn't know I could do certain things. I'm out there practicing all types of deals, and I still got a lot of growing to do. And of course, I'm afraid, you know what I'm saying? But I have a lot of confidence behind all this fear. You know, it's new for me because nobody's accomplished it. But I'm not worried about accomplishing it. I believe that I can do it. I don't want it not to happen. You know what I'm saying? And even through my lifespan, I know I gotta grow up to be a guru and believe even if I do pass on, I gotta leave something behind so people can get out. I'm so intimate about getting people out now. You know what I'm saying? That's my thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm so mobile. I got an engine running. I just want it done. I want to do it. You know what I'm saying? So this is hard for me. And that would be natural too. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being real though. So I try to help people out as much as possible with advice and all types of deals. You know, thinking about buying some clippers and just doing homeless people hair. Just every day I'm off and shit. Like, you know, I just, you know, it's more than just meditation. I need progress somewhere. You know what I'm saying? I need to do something good. You know, at all times, somewhere, just something like, you know, I'm always looking for that. So I'm keep practicing my alchemy and hopefully I hit a breakthrough and I can actually help some people or something. You know, real talk, like real change. You know what I'm saying? Like I can be, I can be people that preach about change, and we know what real change is. You know, real black president gets in office and niggas is in jail. Like, I would be like, let the niggas go. You know, we ain't fucking stupid. We know what y'all niggas be doing. Let the motherfuckers go. Like I couldn't be like no fake ass person. You know what I'm saying? Like even with Shawty, like she tried to hop on me, try to deceive me like materialistically. But we were supposed to see each other again, like on the 9th or whatnot, or she was supposed to come over this weekend, or she was gonna come over today, and you know she been trying to flip the whip on me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, you know, you trying to sit up here lie to me, and you want to have sex? It's like, you know, me, I usually would take that and just rough it out. But now it's like my vibration, my frequency is so in tune and it's so harmonized. It's like, man, I know you come in here and we have sex. My vibration is just gonna give that off so much, and it's gonna be like it's gonna shake. It's gonna shake his head at you. Like my soul is gonna shake his head at you, and you gonna feel it in the room, and she gonna try to ignore it, and it's unhealthy. It's like so unhealthy for her to do that, and it's so unhealthy for me to just not acknowledge that. I'm like, yo, it's really something wrong with you. You know, and you really need to talk about it and really fix it, because if not, you know, it can become a horrible cycle. You know what I'm saying? Like real talk. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. I couldn't just have sex after somebody tried to deceive me like that. That's crazy. It's weird. It's like that's something that needs to be nipped in the bud for real. Like I grew up never learned lying to myself and never lying to others. And even when I really being embedded into the hood, like it started to grow on me to the point that I actually thought I was gonna start lying to my granny. I was like, whoops. I was like, hell no, nigga. I feel like I'm about to lie to my granny now, nigga. Hell no, I gotta fix this right now. Cause I start this trend, it's gonna get out of control, nigga. Ain't gonna be nothing nice around here. I fixed all that shit. Start doing religion about Taoism and spirituality. Nigga, I fixed all that shit. I said, nope, 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 nope. Learn about sin, elevation. Start planning that shit out. Like, okay, so I do this, I do that. I do this, I do that. Just all the seven deadly sins. I think it's juvenile sins or something like that, like the reverse sin, the stuff like lust is intelligence, and, shit like that. What people be going through now, or sex sales, and type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, you'd be amazed once go look into the seven deadly sins and understand what's going on out here, and understand the reverse of people actually being disciplined in those descents. They're actually not like sins and stuff. I mean, they are sins, but just scientific terminology, just people in their descent uh, spirits that need to be accelerated, not back that need to be reascended to be angelic once again, so they can evolutionize properly. You know what I'm saying? Uh, through those juvenile attributes. They're called something. It's not judicial or something like that, but it's like the positive of like the sins. Each sin has like a polarity and stuff like that. But um, in actuality, like the being in descent and elevation is supposed to be like in duality. It's supposed to exist as one. You know what I'm saying? Negative and positive. It's like fire and ice. They're like two elements that are supposed to exist. You know, um, with one another, or in a combination of existing elements. Are you okay, Shawty? Shawty, they might blogger. You okay? Nah, I shouldn't. What is it? What did I just get done talking about? Okay, sorry. okay. So I put on game. It's all ain't no thing, you know. But this is what I got to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is all I got to say. That's that's just to reinforce that. It's like they had this big huge rant about sexy elementary or grade school teachers being in class. You know what I'm saying? The most attractive thing is a woman. You know what I'm saying? It's, to a man is a woman, vice versa. You know what I'm saying? And um, man, and a woman straight is very alluring. You know what I'm saying? Sexual trait is really alluring. So that's her sexuality as well as a man. Like, of course, we have descriptions in our anatomy, but when it comes to a woman, hers just breeds sexuality. You know what I'm saying? Of course, a man does. They both do, but there's okay, they do. That's another mental block that I gotta get rid of. You know what I'm saying? But it's like young girls acknowledge that. Some of them are attracted to women as well in that way. But some young girls would just flap their hair and be like, I'm gonna be pretty too. You know what I'm saying? So okay, I get it. Okay, I get it. But some young boys, they're extremely attracted. I mean, all young boys, like men, just attracted to it. And they see a handsome man got it together and whatnot. Like, okay, I'm gonna be like that one day. Some other young boys be like, okay, I'm kind of feeling dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, just respect out of all aspects of the understanding. You know what I'm saying? And just to put that on point, like they had this whole rendition about um, school teachers being like too sexy and stuff like that, and just not acknowledging or ever acknowledging not only religion but the magneticism that sexuality has towards every human being and what they can actually do to use that in favor of teaching children about sex ed, or even using that to get their attention to teach them whatever they want to teach them. But they know behind the scenes, because they didn't choose to keep these women to teach these children the curriculum, they knew that if they would have kept her, the sexuality in the room would have allowed her to have the full on attention of those children, because they understood the energy that she was gravitating with her beauty, her 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 ability to use that energy to sway the room in her favor, you know. And since that energy was in a good light, it rubbed people in the wrong way, because it showed not only her beauty, her intelligence, her ethnicities. Okay, I'm speaking of a certain person, but you know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't the same. This ain't the only time this has happened at all. But not only did it show that her power as an educated woman, but they didn't want to show fact that if you kept a woman of that stature of sexual energy, because sexual energy, even in the place, like, you give off an aroma when you get sexually aroused. You pour and give off fumes in nature, and your sexual energy literally, kinetically, electronically stays in the same area. So whatever you're thinking and whatever your sexual being is emitting in that area, when I move, you know, that energy right there becomes a ghost. And people can hear what I was speaking of right here in this spot, even when I leave. You know what I'm saying? Water has memory. Space has memory. Electricity has memory. Elements have memory. You know what I'm saying? Your frequency lives on. I'm technically speaking to people right now, that don't know I'm talking to them, and they may be talking to themselves. Like, the whole nine, applies to, you know, sexual energy and frequencies and vibrations in which we all speak through. You know what I'm saying? So my energy right now, as we feel Pac, Mike, and everybody, my energy right now that exists, um, if I'm in a room, people feel my energy. You know, if I move from a spot, people feel my energy, and they can feel a certain presence that exists here, certain presence that existed here. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm in the room and I can actually use my energy. You know, whether they're used to a certain energy and they're familiar with it or not, or I have a certain element. Of course, we are all different. That allows us to be able to open our mouths or create certain gestures or fit in the universe in some type of way, just by our combination of us acting naturally, in unison with nature's natural order for us all to coexist uh, harmoniously. You know what I'm saying? The ability to live with one another without actually stepping on each other's toes in the same spot at all times. It's completely operative. You know what I'm saying? So in this situation, this is a great example, the showing of, not a woman, daycare, woman in daycare, beating on kids and nothing like that. They can be sexy, good looking and shit, and beating on old people they taking care of, all that shit. No, it's not that. This is like a prominent, well-minded, good woman. This is all science. Well-prominent, good woman in her sexual energy, and they sexual energy in the room. Like she could literally teach them kids about sex ed. She could probably take off her bra. You know what I'm saying? Not to put it in the fantasy type of way, but everybody literally to the day still has their ancestors or some type of agricultural native background that they can keep, that they can go back to right now today, and they can actually see themselves, their ethnicities, butt ass naked, or in their agricultural cultural native means, and they you just know off bat, okay, I was born naked. You know what I'm saying? My people come from like naked backgrounds and shit. So being naked, it really ain't shit. Putting on clothes allows them once again to manipulate us to believe if you have your clothes outside of public, which is another step towards being a mechanized world, which we dealt with before. We fought back natively with our voodoo. It's called juju. And no, it's not called juju. It's called voodoo sorcery, biotechnology from our native grounds. We fought, mechanized beings once before, many times before. Aliens, whoever tried to do this once again. You know what I'm saying? Just to say that you ain't supposed to be naked outside, boy, that's indecent exposure and shit. They gradually got us all up to this point right now. So if you take off your clothes, it's indecent exposure. But she can teach them all about sex ed. She can use her sexual energy to lift them up and bring them up and gain their approval, gain their parents' approval. Man and woman, because not only is she beautiful, but she's she's fluorescent. You know what I'm saying? She glows with a heavenly glow to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Educated. You know what I'm saying? Not only her, but many women that do that, they don't want. It's like, why would you want like a beautiful person in front of your children, teaching them about everything? You know what I'm saying? So now they hop out of school and they're not used to seeing beautiful people, and they get out into the real world. Oh, you just a model. You just a hoe. You just, you know what I'm saying? You too beautiful. What you do? I'm a doctor and stuff like that. Like, you ain't got doctors in school. You ain't in hospitals. You ain't you ain't in the military. Nigga, you bust it down. That's what you do. You drop a low. You know what I'm saying? They don't know. You know what I'm saying? The most the most scientific thing you will ever look at is, as a male, is a woman, and woman to male. Hugely hugely the most scientific thing you will ever look at is the easiest means of recreating, the universe, literally, through you and her, or he and you. You know what I'm saying? Which is a full-on explanation of how this world exists today. If you just look in the anatomy of it, why wouldn't you be able to understand that, study that, and learn that in elementary school? And that's how you got there in the first place. And you had to go through daycare to learn some bullshit instead of hopping off your mama titty and learning how I got here in the first place. It sounds like some bullshit to me. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. It sounds like some real bullshit. You know, I just got out the room. Why you got to start lying to me now? Or have you changed your mind? Yeah, I feel like Craig. Yeah. Nah, man. Daddy, daddy. I'll see you soon. Okay. Bye. Doing that to get a reaction out of her. She gonna text back and she gonna try to call. She gonna be on some bullshit or something like that. She gonna be very mad and first she gonna just chunk the deuce or something like that. But that's like now I see that she was in focus and now I gotta, you know, hit her with something traumatic. So she get it, she be like, what? So you think you gonna talk to me like I'm like, nah, I'm just doing it to amplify what we really talking about. But you trying to sit up there and ignore it. And I know you read that shit. You want to acknowledge it because you don't want to, you know, people, you know, she don't want to be, you know, she don't want to work hard to fix herself. For some reason, she don't want to let it go. And that's how you can actually see with that third eye. You're like, okay, it's something back there. You know, that's another thing that they taught me is how to use the third eye telekinetically. But they had like superpowers, so they was like going in people's minds and following energy trails like damn, following spaceships in outer space and shit. They can, they can clean up a whole like they can clean up like a whole crime with their telekinesis. You know what I'm saying? Throughout everybody's perspective, literally, they be like, you know, all that shit, real talk. But I think the video was good. About 144, about to head up on this side, and you know, dread. I mean, I got some. I'm talking to a lot more females. You know what I'm saying? But I got to stay focused. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I got to keep doing my spiel and be an example, being a good example. Seeing the youngin that was looking at me at the train station because he saw, you know what I'm saying? Like I had a good head on my shoulders, and he kind of had the aroma, of like a hood nigga. He had the aroma of a hood nigga. So I looked at him, I didn't really understand, but I just walked. And I saw him again, I saw him looking around and scoping and seeing everybody else. I'm like, I already knew the deal. I looked at the nigga, I'm like, oh, it's just a youngin'. And I was just like, what's up? And he was like, what's up? And he must have sensed like my heart or something, because he was like, you ain't gonna say nothing? He was like, nigga, I don't know you. But he was like, he saw I didn't sell drugs or nothing like that. He was like, put me on game, 'cause I don't know shit. Type shit. I was like, blood. See, that's why I gotta come out here. I see, I see that people are sensing my energy and they need somebody to talk to. You know what I'm saying? If I don't do anything, I can at least try to speak to people from what I know, to try to help people. You know what I'm saying? And I know myself through and through. It's just when I get too much in depth with the knowledge, people start to trigger off, and their traumatic substances start to come out. And they don't want to accept the information, whether it's true or not, and then things become, you know, ignorantly belligerent. You know what I'm saying? So I got to really use my martial arts and my mind to really combat things and really fight my way out of mobs. Nah, I'm playing. I got to really, you know, teach people the real about things and take my time. You know, really try to reach people because that's really important. So I'm just gonna try to do what it do, baby. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, goddamn it. like a rose bush.